Hello, Libra, and welcome to your full moon in Aquarius reading. So let's tap in and see what energies are coming through for the sign of Libra for this full moon in the sign of Aquarius. So let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's see what energy wants to come through for the sign of Libra. All right, here we go. A fiery climax approaches. Okay, full moon in Aries, bottom of the deck, balance, spirituality, and practicality. So I kind of feel there is going to be some intense energy. Um, I really feel that Mars energy, which is in the sign of Gemini, it did conjunct with Uranus back on July 3rd. So you may be able to look back and recognize where something was initiated or started happening around that time. I kind of feel this is the culmination because it does say the climax of this approaches. So I feel like this is going to be the completion of whatever that intensity was, that challenge was. Um, that it definitely feels like a lower vibrational energy. It feels like something that could have been very frustrating or aggravating or just really got you um, fired up in some way, shape, or form. I love to see this balance, spirituality and practicality for a couple reasons. This is a full moon on this card, so both of these are full moon energies. For several reasons, I like this because balance is your sign, right? Libra is the sign about what's right, fair, and just, and maybe that's what got your feathers all ruffled or something, that there was an injustice or something that wasn't right or fair or something like that. I do feel it's important for you to balance internally, keeping yourself in balance, your chakras in alignment as you work through the process of this. I feel culmination, the completion, the closing, being able to close this out. Uh, I do feel like there is a strong sense and need of meditation, taking a step back, taking time away, really just keeping your internal DNA chakras in alignment, balanced in order to move forward through this completion. Next card up is harmony. That's exactly your energy. This is what you like, right? Peace, balance, and harmony, union, that sort of energy. Hope is at the bottom of the deck. I feel there's something you don't see coming. I do feel there is a resolution to this situation for some of you, and it may not be for everyone, but for some of you, I do feel like the this is just going to be something that you release, surrender, let go. Because if it's bringing in disruption or chaos or anything like that into your life, I feel like you're going to be looking at it through a lens of, I'm not claiming this, I'm not accepting this, this is not in alignment with my soul being, that sort of energy, and you're going to kick that chaos or conflict or drama to the curb is what I'm feeling. I feel like you are looking to be in your authentic energy, which is about balance, harmony, that sort of energy. And, I just get the feeling like you can't, uh, you know, play both sides, or you can't, connect or work with energy that is not, it just feels like a reciprocating energy. It feels like an energy that is just on a different playing field, on a different vibrational frequency, on a different level. That sort of energy is how I'm feeling. I do see the harmony coming through, so I can feel that somebody is choosing self, choosing their peace, choosing a balance and harmony in their life, and making the sound choices and decisions to, like I said, kick to the curb things that are disrupting that. And I did call out union. I don't know why I said that, but there we go. There's the union card. Bottom of the deck is listening. So this could have been something, I mean, this will be for everybody, but for some of you, there could have been some sort of energy that was maybe causing some friction or chaos or something in regards to a partnership or within, if it wasn't about a partnership, it was about you coming into balance with something. Like it can be a job, a career, it can be anything like that. But I'm more feeling it's to do just because I feel a lot of water. Um, I feel like, and even though I do see the fire, like it could have been causing chaos, drama, conflict between friends, between a partnership, between. It just feels like that kind of energy to me. I kind of feel like, there was somebody out there stirring the pot and causing some chaos and unnecessary drama. And I kind of feel there is this energy of being seen, for it being recognized, for it being called out and dealt with accordingly. And for some of you, like I said, I feel like this is something that's going to be kicked to the curb. If this is the sort of energy, if this is the way they operate, function, or this is what they think is acceptable, I just feel like somebody closing the door on that, saying no. Maybe having a intense conversation or something like that in regards to the actions or what somebody was doing, or the drama that was started, and then letting that go, closing that cycle, balancing themselves out by eliminating that chaos, conflict, and drama out of their life. The next, look at this is fantastic, because harmony and then sanctuary at the other end of it, and then balance right there again. Yes, I feel like something was throwing something out of whack. And I don't, Libra, that is not the energy they thrive in. It's not the energy they enjoy. They like what's right, fair, and just. They're fair, balanced people. They like peace and harmony within situations, relationships, and that sort of thing. So if there is something, and I do feel there was something, and I do feel like it'll be exposed during this full moon, where there was a drama starter, somebody trying to just stir stuff up, get people at odds, that sort of energy, bring some sort of conflict and drama into a situation. I kind of feel like this is where they're looking at that and they're seeing it for what it is. And again, I feel kicking it to the curb and closing the door. Like that's how I feel. Like they're restoring the peace, balance, and harmony within a foundation of something. And to me, that something feels like, and I love to see the balance on both sides of this. I feel like this is between some sort of relationship, and it doesn't, it can be partnerships, your partner, your spouse, whatever that, or it can be within your friend group, your social circle, things like that. But I do feel like it's within relationships. So let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Let's start clarifying this. Give us some messages for the harmony. Give us some messages and clarity for this harmony. I feel this is what's being restored. I feel like it has a big impact on your home with your foundation. Like, whether this was a friend you've had forever, or, a conflict that got created in a friendship that you've had forever, or within a partnership. It does feel like a close situation that something got stirred up, some drama got started, is what I'm feeling. Wow. Clarifying the harmony is the Eight of Earth. This is working towards something. This is working towards growth. Judgment on the bottom of the deck. So very interesting energy right there. There is judgment. Somebody is under judgment, I feel, for the chaos they created in some sort of a connection, whether it be a friend group, whatever this was. Like somebody started something and this is going to play out. I don't feel like it's going to play out in their favor. I feel the high vibrational Libra that I am picking up on, you are going to see this situation for what it is. And I do feel like you're going to do what's right, fair, and just, because that is in your nature. And I just don't feel like, I feel like what's right, fair, and just is for this energy to be eliminated, right? Taken, you no longer allow access to this person, to your, thoughts, ideas. You no longer confiding or communicating with this energy when you see what they would do, and I feel like that's what's happening. You're going to see what they do with that information. Do they use it for good? Do they use it for bad? And I feel like they used it to cause a lot of chaos and unnecessary drama. Kind of, I just feel like dramatizing information maybe that they knew or something like that, and utilizing that to, I don't know, maybe look better, feel better about themselves. I don't know what it was, but it feels to me like it was a waste of their time, and there will be karmic consequences as a result. Look at that temptation. Whoo! Yeah. King of water at the bottom of the deck. I knew I felt a lot of water. So I feel whatever impact this tempting, I feel like saying stupid move was, the temptation to do this, whatever that reason was, I feel like they definitely caused some chaos and drama and conflict within. I feel some sort of a partnership, some sort of companionship, relationship, that sort of energy. I feel like somebody was tempted. Wow. I said it too. I was like, I feel like, I don't know why I felt like maybe they felt better about themselves. Maybe it made them feel better about their, I want to say, I really have not good words that I feel like saying when I say this. But I feel like they just needed something to feel better about themselves, and I don't know what made them, tempted them to think this was a good idea, but this was definitely a bad move. So that seven of fire came out and it fell on the floor and it spun, and it spun, and it was like spinning, and then it was in reverse, like upside down. And then when I picked it up, I definitely felt the energy to put this upright. I feel somebody thought they were going to get to the, like the top of this mountain, to the success, to the happiness, to the joy, by knocking somebody else down, right? And causing problems by doing all of this. I feel like no, it's a, like this is what I would call a backfire, where that energy they put out, that attempt to cause chaos, drama, conflict, challenges within friendships, social circles, partnerships, whatever that is, that's going to backfire. That's going to take them a minute, I feel, to crawl out of the karmic debt of that, I feel, stupid move. That's what I'm feeling. Look, judgment again. So there's some serious judgment out on a situation that I just feel caused an unnecessary conflict and challenge. Life is hard enough without people having to, intentionally do bogus things to make life harder than it absolutely has to be. And this is my words of wisdom when it comes to any of that. Don't be out there causing things or doing things, or, do unto others as you want done unto you, because that's how that's going to go down. So, like, when this backfires, all that you were attempting to create and cause and dramatize in a situation is going to be sitting on your doorstep. So, if you can't take it, don't be giving it, right? That's just the way it should be. It's the law of attraction. You reap what you sow. If you want to sow ill will and bad intentions, then that's what you're going to get knocking on your door when this backfires. I feel for the Libra I'm talking to, you have opened your eyes. You have seen the situation. I kind of feel your feathers are ruffled, and I do feel you could be a little upset, pissed off, aggravated, frustrated, annoyed, and probably for more than just one reason. One, because maybe it involves a person that you confided in, that you trusted, that you thought had your back, and that alone is something to process when you recognize that no, they can't be trusted. Another part is because of the chaos and the drama that it created in a situation that was totally unfounded, unnecessary, that sort of thing. So I can understand that. But anyhow, I'm seeing you, the peace being restored, harmony and balance being restored, you getting over this obstacle and challenge, you rising above, and claiming that victory and success. And then, wow. I mean, I've seen it on the bottom twice and now it showed up. That's judgment. Something, whatever this was, because there's two major arcana cards, Something, this was a big deal. Messenger of fire. This could be that heated conversation, somebody calling somebody out, really putting somebody in check, exposing somebody as well for the chaos that they created. So I want to say this. I can feel this, like somebody confronting somebody. I don't feel like this, the person that was tempted to cause this chaos, drama, all this stuff. It feels to me like an excuse train, like, oh, playing the dumb card. I love them people that play that dumb card because I just sit back and just wait, because they're going to get caught up in that. And so I'm just feeling like you're going to call somebody out. They're not going to take accountability. That's going to be another part of that karmic debt that they have to contend with. So I wouldn't focus too much on that. I feel like this judgment call also is in favor of you to be able to move forward and to enter into a new portal and leaving this toxic energy behind. Again, I felt that door closing. Like I feel this door's getting closed on someone and they're not going to be able to access, right? Your time, energy, effort, your words of wisdom, your unconditional love, whatever the heck it is, your high vibrational frequency is what I'm feeling. So let's keep moving forward. Let's get to the sanctuary. Let's see what wants to clarify the sanctuary. Five of Earth. This is leaving somebody out. Somebody, it's like, ooh, somebody, bottom of the deck is Seven of Waters. Yeah, I feel like somebody's being left out. There's going to be, fives are challenges that bring change. And I feel when I'm looking at this, right, I want to show you because there's five pentacles. Four of them are right here, and then there's one right here, right here. So when we talk about the Four of Pentacles, that talks about something either holding on too tightly to something or something being blocked or something like that. And I feel with that Ace of Pentacles, that's a new beginning. So you can literally see, well, it's hard to see on these cards, but there's a person and her hand is reaching for this new, the Ace of Pentacles, a new beginning, as she's looking back at the Four of Pentacles, right? So she's looking at back and she's recognizing what was blocking her, what is, where it's kind of like the catalyst to the chaos, the drama, the confusion, the conflict, where this stemmed from. And now she's going to remove that block and she's going to that Ace of Pentacles, right? Could have been a lot of confusion around this with the Seven of Waters at the bottom of the deck. There could have been a lot of confusion. Maybe it was hard to see because it kind of looked like, it really was an illusion, but it looked real. Like on the surface, on the physical, right? It felt like it was a genuine, sincere energy, one who was caring and compassionate and this, that, and the third thing. But the reality, once the illusion is shattered, once it's seen for what it truly is, that's not what it was. It was someone who was taking information, gaining knowledge, wisdom, information in order to use it in attack mode or for ill intention. And I feel like it's discovered. I feel like whoever I'm talking to, Libra, you see this for what it is and you're going to deal with it accordingly. You're going to do what's right, fair, and just in order to bring back the balance, the peace, the harmony, that into your life. And we can see it throughout. Union is bringing in balance, balance, balance. We can see that something has tried to throw your balance, something out of whack for you, and it's not going down. There's the Ace of Air. That's the truth. So this is that clear mind, that clear thought. I'm feeling that second ace with that. There's the Queen of Fire right there. So behind the scenes, I do feel you are taking action. Maybe you're discovering things, doing a little bit of research. Maybe I feel this energy of patiently waiting for someone to expose themselves. Because I kind of feel like I was saying earlier, I love people who play that dumb card because you just give it a minute and then they, you see, right? And I kind of feel like that's something that's going on with you right now, where you know what you know, but you maybe don't have the physical validation. And I feel like you're giving them the time, energy, the time and the space to, pretty much call themselves out or get themselves caught up, or that sort of thing. And maybe that's why this right here, you're just waiting for that moment of truth, that moment of clarity, in order to just pounce and say, oh no, we're going to be checking this, right? So I feel behind the scenes you are doing some research, maybe asking random questions here and there, and kind of putting the pieces together, connecting the dots, and seeing what is what in this situation. So the next messages that come out is from the Mystical Wisdom Oracle deck. This is the animal bond, stand up for all animals. I'm also feeling with this energy that this is something significant when it comes to signs and synchronicities. About watching for signs and synchronicities. If you keep seeing, like, whatever, I don't know why turtles just popped into my head, but if you keep seeing turtles, you're scrolling through Facebook or whatever other platform you're on, and then you keep seeing things about turtles, I'd look up the symbolic meanings of the animal, whatever the animal is. Look, originality is at the bottom of the deck, so this is blazing your own trail. This is that new beginning I feel coming in. But I would look those messages up and see what they have to say to you, because I do feel like there's something symbolic. The other day, what was it? I had, so I had gotten a gift for my birthday, and it was beautiful. I had all these flowers, and it was hard to see at first, but then all of a sudden it was so clear that there was a dragonfly on there. And I keep, every time I turn around, I'm seeing another dragonfly, another dragonfly. So, I'm just saying, you don't know how they're going to pop up. One popped up on a rug. Then I went outside to do something, and I seen a huge one flying by my head. So I always feel it's very important to be mindful of signs and synchronicities, that it's sometimes easy to just brush aside, put aside, that sort of energy. Resilience. So that's that energy. I'm telling you, I picked up on this energy of somebody really, and it's right there, rising above the challenge, rise above the tribulation. Somebody has taken the higher ground. Potential is at the bottom of the deck. Beautiful energy. I feel like somebody literally knew something, they felt something, intuitively sensed something, and they allowed the person to, like, get themselves called out, caught up, or exposed, is what I'm feeling happen. And I do feel like at the end game of all of this, somebody is going to be kicking that energy out of their orb, out of their aura, out of their energetic field, right? Because they know this energy can't be trusted, or comes bringing problems or ill will or something like that. But whoever I'm reading for, you've risen above it. Cheer up, live in the moment. So this to me feels like it's almost over. I do feel like this is something that's going to be coming to that culmination point very, very quickly. Yeah, look, seven deadly sins, and it makes me think of that temptation. Um, Recognizing the toxic energy and kicking that toxic energy right out. That's just how I'm feeling. I mean, it is what it is. If people, want to stay in your life, they're going to learn to treat you right, do better, right? Be a good person. Otherwise, really, I don't really see you wanting to put the time, energy, and effort into toxic situations. That's really not how Libra roll, right? They like what's right, fair, and just. They like peace and harmony. And if you're just a drama starter, they're not into that. Sensuality, um, express your sensuality. I feel with this one, this is somebody who's comfortable in their own skin. Bottom of the deck is friendship. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel whoever I'm talking to is, you are comfortable with who you are, right? And there is an energy that is not comfortable with who they are. So instead of working on themselves, they do something to make themselves feel better, although ultimately it does not make them feel better. Maybe they think that they're tempted, and they think, it's just a thought. It doesn't, make it real. that they're going to feel better by knocking somebody else down. This is somebody who really needs to do some shadow work. I feel like you're going to align with your like minded people. Like I said, the people that are coming together for you, they bring balance, peace, harmony into your life. They don't come waltzing in with chaos, drama, conflict, competition. They're not that kind of energy. The energy that you're kicking out, I feel like that's it. It's like that's an energy of somebody who I feel, um, just from what I'm seeing here, you know, like I said, doesn't feel good about themselves. They're not comfortable with who they are. So, in order to make themselves feel better, they try to knock somebody down. And I can't say they picked the wrong one. They picked the right one because they're about to be put in check for all this. Face your fears is next. I feel this face your fears is about the confrontation. And I feel like there's something that makes me feel like part of this fear is a result of relinquishing a connection, right? Sacrificing that, allowing it to just dissipate. Wow, good fortune at the bottom of the deck. I do feel like that's part of facing your fears is having to have this confrontation and literally cut something out to say goodbye to something that is not for your greater good. And just because we know that it's toxic or not for our greater good doesn't mean we don't care or love or it hurts our feelings, right? Um, because I feel you were a genuine, either a person, a friend, a partner, whatever it was, and you just weren't getting that reciprocating energy. But I feel as you're releasing this, cutting this loose, seeing the truth for what it is, embarking on this new path forward, a lot of things start to happen that are very good for you. Where if you've been going through a phase of I do feel a lot of challenges, conflict, a lot of back and forth. Like it almost feels like someone came in and wreaked havoc, bringing drama to your door between your friends, your partner, your within your home, your family, that sort of thing. And I feel like this is all coming to the light now. It's being exposed. That person can go off and deal with the karmic debt they owe, and you can move forward in this nice, peaceful, balanced, harmonious energy. Woo! Okay, Libra, I hope that serves you well. I send you an abundance of peace, love, and light. Please don't forget to leave me a comment. Let me know how this resonates with you. And if you'd like to buy me a coffee, my link is in the description box below. Have a great day.